Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you an update, a weekly update in the Bitcoin real-time index, Bitcoin. They're highly correlated. And so we did skip last week. We forgot to announce that. Many of us were off on vacation. So we are resuming our weekly Bitcoin analysis this week, Monday, August 25th, for the week of Monday, August 25th. And so, we retested a couple of weeks ago this AB pattern. A is the 2021 high minus the 22 low. The full swing to the upside is 122,433. And we reached that back in July, and we retested it a couple of weeks ago, and we're falling away again. So this remains an important hurdle for the market. It was considered a 3 to 5 month objective initially following the November settlement last year above this long-term 5-year channel top. So if there's two big picture areas for selling and buying, it is 85,229 to the downside. I don't see that anytime soon. And 122,433 to the upside.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Now, by one clear definition, we remain, depending on how far back you go, in a higher high, higher low dynamic that continues to play out. Even off that April low, we have higher high, higher low dynamic. We just put out a new high and we've fallen back. And this pattern, as long as it continues, and I'll get to that in a moment. When does it no longer continue? As long as it continues, I think we can anticipate a violation and settlement above 122,433 in the coming month, 2 or 3. I've mentioned all along how a longer-term resistance is more meaningful than 122,433 is above the market still at 134,099 and rising. That is a rising channel bottom that stems really off the August 24 low. So this is a 1-year channel structure, and it remains in reach. 134,099. It's expected. This could be a 3 to 5 week pop. This could be 2 or 3 months, depending on volatility. But if we close above 122,433, 134,099 in reach over that time frame. Now, I think 134,099 should be considered in reach, possibly by the end of the year anyway, so long as we are above these structures here. So let me break this down a bit. In recent videos, I've been mentioning this inside channel. I've added the outside channel now because it's not long from now, as we get into the mid to later part of September, that this extreme channel bottom, also trend defining, correlates quite well with this old high area that you can see across the top here. And I'm kind of rounding it to 108,334 to 109,192. So the extreme channel bottom at 102,423, we're not going to see that this week. We might see that within 2 to 3 weeks. In fact, if we were to close this week below the inside channel at 111,646, then we should within 1 to 3 weeks test 102,423. And holding above 102,423 does maintain upward momentum off that April low. We can round up to not only 122,433 within a month or two of testing 102,423, but we could, within 3 months, 5 months of testing 102,423, reach that objective I'd mentioned at 134,099 within 3 to 5 months, where we could top out. This 134,099 can contain quarterly, possibly annual highs when tested. And so if you're talking near term, if you're kind of a 3 to 5 week swing trader, it is still selling 122,433 and buying 102,423, this extreme rising channel bottom. Now, preceding that, I would call this kind of a 1 to 3 week swing trade. You can buy 111,646, and I have this here for just the near-term swing traders, buying 111,646, holding out for 122,433. We could fill this wedge out for the next 3 to 5 weeks, potentially. If we close this week below 111,646, this 102,423 is likely within 1 to 3 weeks. On an intra-week basis, if we, for instance, close Monday below 111,646, then we should, within the week, fall to this area, this kind of high area back in January and December of 108,334 to 109,192. That could be it to the downside for the week. But if we close below this channel bottom at 111,646, expect within 1 to 2 to 3 weeks at the most, 102,423. And so if you're looking at kind of a midterm outlook, it is buying 102,423, anticipating within 2 to 3 months, 122,433. And the inverse is also possible. But as I mentioned earlier, just know that holding above 102,423 maintains bullish momentum through the rest of the year. And we can, from here, this could be a significant head fake to the downside, where many long sort of exit the market. You can get certain types of short market plays below 111,646, but I think 102,423 is the level to settle below for indicating a good annual high. Until then, I think it is serious bottom picking territory through the rest of the year. From here, within a couple of months, 122,433, and within 3 to 5 months, as I say, of testing 102,423, we can reach this sort of ultimate objective, if you will, at 134,099. It looks something like this on the chart. You know, it basically is falling to this and allows us to round up within 3 to 5 months to 134,099. Now, if in the coming weeks we were to close below 102,423, this rising, really a kind of a 5-month channel bottom now, if we close below that, we've got a good high for the year. And over the next 2 to 3 months, I would expect the mid-80s, 84,325. I don't expect 84,325 unless we close below 102,423. Or, and here's the other scenario, and this is a much longer term perspective. If we test 134,099, we can fall back into the mid-80s. That is the channel bottom to the 134,099 channel top. So let me kind of talk a little bit more about this. 111,646 can contain this week's lows. Once tested, we can round up within several weeks to 122,433. We could fill this wedge out for a month. If we close this week below 111,646, next week or within 2 to 3 weeks at the longest, 102,423 likely, where profits can be taken on a short position if established below 111,646 and long entry pursued really through the rest of the year. From here, because of its correlation with this old high area, especially increasingly so over the next few weeks, we can bottom out through the rest of the year, tag 122,433 again within a month or two, and then continue on and up to the what is now 134,099. I will also mention that this 84,325 correlates really well right now with this former 5-year channel top. So yes, if we were in the coming weeks to close below 102,423, good high for the year, 2 to 3 month sell-off into the mid-80s. Until then, this is your bottom picking territory. We could bottom out here and within 2 months or so, test 122,433, and within 3 to 5 months, actually reach on up to new highs and test the 134,099 formation. I'm closing in on 8 minutes. I don't like to go past that number for whatever reason. So I'm going to leave it at that for this week's Bitcoin analysis update. You have a great week.